Impress your family once in a while by making some delicious homemade samosas. This is a detailed step-by-step samosa recipe whereby I show you how to make samosa pastry. Yes, that is number one. And also, we are going to be making samosa filling, which is going to turn out amazing. Whenever I'm making my samosa pastry, I go for the simplest of the ingredients, and we are going to be using 4 cups of all-purpose flour. This is a big batch of samosa pastry, and also I have 1.5 cups of cold water. It's very important for you to use cold water because it's going to be very easy for you to knead the dough and to make the pockets. Also, you're going to need a teaspoon and a quarter of salt. So we're going to add in water to our flour gradually, and I'm going to be mixing using a spoon until a dough is formed. Make sure to scrape the bottom of the bowl so that all the flour can get combined into a dough. And once I have a shaggy dough just like this, I'm going to go in with my hands and knead for around 2 minutes. Transfer to my countertop and knead. And after kneading for 2 minutes, this is how your dough is supposed to be looking. As you can see, it's not sticky at all, so it's going to be very easy to make the pastry. So I'm going to transfer the dough back into the bowl, cover and rest for around 10 minutes. Once my dough is well rested, we're going to go to the next step, which is going to be dividing the dough into smaller pieces. So I'm going to knead my dough a little bit, forming a round shape, just like this. It's very easy. All you have to do is push in the middle, going all the way to the sides. Using my bench scraper, I'm going to cut into same size. Just like that. Then I'm going to pick my dough, tuck in the bottom, and place aside. Make sure you have a smooth top. Your dough shouldn't be too soft because it's going to give you a hard time when making the pastry. And because I'm done and I have around 13 pieces of dough, I'm going to be stacking in trays. So you're going to need some cooking oil. I'm going to place the dough aside. Cooking oil, a kitchen brush, and your rolling pin together with some extra all-purpose flour. I'm going to pick one piece of dough, spread a little bit of flour to my working surface. Then I'll be rolling out a little bit. And also at this point, you're going to place a chapati pan over medium low flame. And once the dough is rolled out, you're going to spread a thin layer of cooking oil on the dough, making sure to spread the oil on the edges. Then you're going to place aside. Pick one more piece of dough, sprinkle some flour on your countertop, and roll out to the same size as the previous one. Then you're going to place on top. Spread some more cooking oil. If you spread too much cooking oil on the dough, it's going to slide as you roll out. Place on top. Pick my dough, spread some flour on my countertop. Make sure the pieces of dough are aligned just like this. Then you're going to use the palm of your hands and push the dough. It's going to be very easy. Then using a rolling pin, you're going to press on the dough, flip, gently push the dough vertically and horizontally. As you can see, I'm not using a lot of effort when pushing the dough. So all you have to do is make sure that you push so that the dough can spread into a thin layer. Make sure to go to the edges. And once done, I'm going to transfer to my hot pan. And very quickly, I'm going to get back to rolling out my dough. So you're going to cook for around 20 to 30 seconds on the first side. Then you're going to flip. You can see as the dough is cooking, it's going to change the color on top. Check on my dough and it's ready to flip. Then you're going to stack once more, making sure the edges are aligned just like this. Just a tiny bit of cooking oil is going to go a long way. Make sure the edges are well oiled. Place aside and pick my last piece of dough because I said I was stacking in threes. Push. When the dough is ready, it's going to be very easy for you to peel and transfer to your kitchen towel so that it doesn't dry out. Once more, you're going to make sure the edges are aligned and push vertically and horizontally until you have a big piece of dough. Once done, you're going to transfer your dough to your hot chapati pan and cook for around 20 to 30 seconds. Flip and let the other side cook once more. And then you're going to repeat with the rest of the dough. Also, you have to make sure the edges are well cooked so that it can be easy for you to peel the dough. We are done with the first step. So the second step is going to be cutting out the samosa strips. Once you stack the dough, you're going to get very transparent pieces of dough which are so thin, and it's going to make you very awesome samosas. As you can see, you can spot my hand from afar. So this is what we are looking for. So I'm going to transfer to my countertop. And for this step, you're going to need a ruler, I have a flexible one, and a knife. You're going to make sure all the pieces of dough are aligned so that it can be easy for you to cut out the pastry. You're going to measure out your dough, and mine is around 22 centimeters. So it's 22 by 20. So I'm going to be cutting into 6 centimeter strips. So I'm going to remove the edges by using a sharp knife and cutting out all the unwanted pieces so that we can remain with a good aligned square. And now we have a square that we're going to be working with. So as I said, we're going to be cutting into 6 centimeters. So I'm going to mark using my knife, just like that. And then I'm going to cut out. Make sure you cut all the way down. And there we go. Once you're done, this is how your samosa strips are going to be looking like, and as you can see, they're looking so gorgeous and they're thin. So what you're going to do next is cover with the wet kitchen towel or paper towel so that the samosa pastry doesn't dry off. I'm going to carefully lift up and place on my wet towel. Wrap it up and place aside. After making your dough for around 40 minutes, the next step is going to be making our meat filling, and I have a couple of ingredients. I have a kg of minced meat that is on the lean side. I have around 3 large leeks that I've washed and cut into small pieces. We have coriander, salt and seasoning cubes together with cooking oil for frying our samosas. But we are going to start off by frying our meats. That is cooking. So you're going to place a pan of a medium flame. Add in 2 tablespoons of cooking oil, that is enough. Spread the oil in the pan. Make sure to use a big pan so that the meat can sear very quickly. Once the cooking oil is ready, I'm going to add in my meat. Use your spatula and break down the meat as it's cooking, and that is going to take around 3 to 4 minutes for the minced meat to fully cook. So as it's cooking, I'm going to be adding in some seasoning, and I have 3 beef seasoning cubes which I'm going to crush. And the seasoning cubes are going to add in so much flavor to the minced meat. Add in a tiny pinch of salt, around a 1/4 teaspoon. Stir in the seasoning. Make sure to break all the lumps in the minced meat because you want everything to be fully cooked down. It's been around 3 minutes and you'll notice that the minced meat is releasing a little bit of water. So you're going to cook for the extra minutes so that all the water can evaporate. But don't dry off your meat too much because it's going to be very dry. So I'm going to check the seasoning to make sure it's perfect. You want to bite into a very well seasoned samosa. Yummy. So I'm going to add in around a quarter more teaspoon of salt to make it half a teaspoon, and that is going to be enough. Then next, you're going to add in your leek. As you're chopping up your leek, make sure to wash in between the leaves because it's always full of soil in between the leaves. And when the leek is fully combined, we're going to cook for around a minute. You don't want to lose the crunch in the leek. Because it's been a minute, I'm going to garnish with some coriander and put out the flames. Toss the coriander into the minced meat and it's smelling amazing. Yeah, the aroma is so good. And it's also very delicious because we added in some seasoning cubes. Together with the minced meat, everything is just perfect. So we are going to let the minced meat cool a little bit as we proceed to the next step, which is going to be making a very simple paste for coating our pastry. So I have a third cup of all-purpose flour and some water. So I'm going to pick a bowl, add in my flour. Then I'm going to gradually add in a tablespoon of water at a time while I mix until I have a paste. And there you go, we have a paste for sealing our pastry ready. Once your paste is ready, you're going to put it aside and pick your pastry, which is not dried out, and then we're going to be making our samosa pockets as we fill. I have another samosa video where I make a very different cut out samosa pastry. So this is going to be a little bit fast. So I'm going to unwrap my pastry. Then I'm going to pick one pastry, put it on my countertop, and then I'm going to fold it just like this. Spread paste on the pastry, which is going to seal. Then I'm going to fold it once more, just like that. And you have a triangle on top. So now it's time to fill the pastry. I'm going to add in a generous amount, not too much, not all the way up, just like that. Then I'm going to fold it once more, spread some paste and seal. There you go. So I'm going to place it on my countertop, pick another pastry, and carefully I'm going to repeat once more by folding it in half, spread some flour, spread some paste, fold it once more to make a triangle on top, spread a little bit of paste, place in our filling, then I'm going to fold it over just like this, spread some flour so that we can seal on one side. Easy peasy. Pick a pastry, fold on one side just like this, spread your paste. You can also use your finger. Then I'm going to fold it once more. Spread some paste. Add my filling. Very easy. And then I'm going to be repeating with the rest of the pastry. As I said earlier on, don't add in too much filling because it's going to be impossible for you to seal the pastry. Make sure you tuck in the filling, fold it on one side, spread some paste. Yeah, and we're done. A quick tip for you, when making the filling, make sure all the water is fully evaporated, because once you add in the filling to your pastry, when it's a little bit soupy, the pastry is going to tear when filling. Also make sure to seal all the tips so that cooking oil doesn't seep into the filling or into the samosa. It's been 30 minutes and I'm already done filling the pastry with the delicious filling. So the next step is going to be fry. So you're going to place a frying pan over medium flame and add in enough cooking oil to deep fry your samosas. This is around 4 to 5 cups of cooking oil. Then you're going to wait for around 30 seconds to a minute so that the oil can get hot. You don't want your cooking oil to get too hot because the samosas are going to brown too fast. So you're going to use a skewer, insert in the cooking oil. Once you notice small bubbling, the oil is ready. If you notice that your oil is roughly bubbling, it's too hot, so you're going to reduce the flame to low or switch off the gas, and then you're going to wait for the oil to cool a little bit. Because mine is ready, I'm going to carefully drop in my samosas into the cooking oil and fry for around a minute on each side or until they get a lovely golden color. Avoid overcrowding because the temperature of the oil is going to drop, and then the samosas are going to turn out a little bit soggy, and you need the samosas to have a crispy outside. I have a plate lined with kitchen paper towel, and also you're going to need a skimmer to flip your samosas as they're cooking. Immediately you catch that lovely golden brown color, you're going to flip so that the other side can fry. This is how your samosas should be looking like. As you can see, they have that nice color. So you're going to scoop out, shake off the excess oil and transfer to your plates, lined with kitchen paper towel so that they can drain off the excess oil. Then you're going to add in your next round carefully by dropping on the side of the frying pan so that you don't splash oil on yourself. You don't want your samosas to get too dark. My second batch is ready, and this is how it's looking. Transfer to the rest and place in my third batch. As the samosas are frying, you're going to catch a very lovely aroma in the kitchen, which is going to be so good. As you can see, my samosas have that nice golden brown color, which makes the samosas so perfect. I'm going to use my skimmer once more and flip so that the other side can cook. Once ready, transfer to your plate. This is how my samosas are looking like after cooking for around 1.5 hours. And as you can see, they've turned out perfect. They have a golden brown crust, and the inside is filled with a very delicious filling. The best part about making homemade samosas is that you can meal prep, freeze, and enjoy during the week, or enjoy whenever you crave some samosas. And also, as you have seen, we have used very minimal ingredients, and the outcome is going to be so good and delicious. So yes, I'm going to pick one, split it up, and you can see some onions which are still crunchy. The beef filling is nice and hot, and this is a perfect way to serve appetizers for your guests, or if you have an occasion, just make some samosas and everyone will enjoy. Serve with your favorite sauce, and it's going to be amazing.